Okay, good morning class. So at this point we're looking at equations and inequalities, and this is on page, we're looking at the equations and inequalities for the examples for exercise 4.2, and exercise 4.2 is on page 74, correct? 74. So we're looking today at equations with fractions. So at this point, I'd just like you guys to write these 4 steps down quickly. We are told that equations with fractions, to solve an equation that has a fraction in it, start by transforming the equation into one without fractions. So that's our first thing. Steps to solve an equation that has fractions in it. Step 1, find the lowest common multiple or denominator, LCD or LCM. Step 2, multiply both sides by the LCD. Step 3, solve the resulting equation. Okay, so write those 4 steps down quickly. I'm going to pause the video at this point. Alright. So let's go to the example 1. And example 1 is on page. Still busy writing. Okay. So this is example 1 on page. Example 1 on page 74. So the question says solve for y. So what you should note here compared to 4.1's exercise was that this has fractions in it. Not so. So what's the first step in solving fractions? Find the LCM. And what's my LCM here? 10. You all agreeing with that? So any confusion, why 10? So naturally that's over 1. So 2 times what is 10? 5. So we multiply that also by 5. 5 times what is 10? 2. 1 times what is 10? 10. So in other words, it's going to become 5 into 10y minus 1 equals 2 times 4 is 8 into 7y plus 1 minus 1 times. Now it becomes a linear equation as we have talked with people. Okay, so let's do it quickly together. Get rid of the brackets. Alright, so let's go with it. 5 times 10y is 51. Okay. 5 times negative 1? 8 times 7y? 56y. 8 times 1 is? 8. Well, negative 1 times 10 is? Is 8 times 7 not 56? You don't check. I might be wrong. So nobody could have given me the answer. It is 56. Thank you. I'm feeling better. Answer your timetable. Right, what do I do now? Y is one side, numbers. Variables one side. So it's 50. Y minus 56. Y equals 8 minus 10. So it's 50y minus 56y. Negative 6y equals 8 minus 10. Negative 2 plus 5. So what do I do now? Divide both sides by? Negative 6. That cancels, so y is equal to, what's positive divided by negative? Negative. And the answer is 2, not so? No. So half. So 3 going to 3 once, 3 going to 6 twice. So it's going to be 5. Any confusion? No. Any questions? Go to example 2, and example 2 is on page 7. Why do you think in brackets x may not be equal to 0? The denominator will result in, or will become 0, and it will be error which is undefined. Not so. That's why it is a variable exponent. The variable can't be 0. If you look here, or your denominator can't be 0. Why do you think they didn't tell us about the D? Because our 2 will never be equal to 0 and 5 will never be equal to 0. Can you see that? However, here we have a variable when x in your denominator, that's why it can't be equal to 0. Okay? People, what's the LCM here? 8x. 4x, yes. That is your LCM. Because 2 can go into 4. If you had gone into 8x, no problem. The sum would just be a bit bigger. Okay, but it's better to go and work with smaller values. Not so. People, the LCM is 4. X. And we said the restriction, as I put here, my restriction is that x can't be equal to 0. So if it comes to be that your solution is x is equal to 0, then you must omit that solution. Okay, you guys understand? Yes. So let's go with this. 2x times what is 4x? Times 2. 4 times what is 4x? X times what is 4x? So in other words, it's going to be 2 times 3 minus 1 times x equals 6 times. Okay, now what? Huh? Get rid of the brackets. Okay, how do I do that? Multiply. 3 times 2 is? 6. Negative 1 times x? 6 times 4? 24. Alright, I'm telling myself 24, but I'm writing 26. So what do I do now? X is one side, numbers are the other side. So negative x equal to 24 minus 6. So negative x equal to, what's 24 minus 6? 18. Divided by negative 1 both sides. Therefore x equal to? Negative 18. And I can test if it's correct. That's a nice thing about equations. If I put, if I see an x on that side, I put a negative 18. So it's 3 over 2 times negative 18 minus a quarter gives me negative a third. No? So negative a third here. And if I say 6 divided by negative 18 is negative a third. So yes, it is correct. You guys understand? What if the values was not the same? Then that means you said negative 18 would have not been the solution. Yes, my God. The denominator falls away. Because I've found all the equivalent fractions of those fractions. Okay, so what happens is, if the denominators are the same, say you got 6 is equal to 6, 5 is equal to x. Then what can you conclude here? Therefore, 5 is equal to x. Why? Because the denominators are the same. So if you write all this as a denominator, 4x, 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 I can just work with the numerators thereafter. That is why it allows me to drop the denominator in that step. People, anything else? So with that, you should be able to do exercise 4.1. For classwork, it's the first column. I'm going to check you guys up row by row now. Okay? Stop the video at this point. Any other questions before I stop? No? So exercise 4.2, first column, page 74.